Welcome to Sacred Sundays. I'm Ashley. This is a space where we tune into the energy of the present moment and use that as a reflection of what might be happening within us. Right now, there's a powerful shift happening. We're being called to step into greater expansion, visibility, and dropping our fears of being seen. Just 2 weeks ago, we had Venus move into Leo, and a couple of days to come, we've got Jupiter entering Leo also. And that'll stay in Jupiter will stay in Leo until I believe a year to 13 months. Got this very strong, fiery energy coming through. And when I think about Leo, I think of self expression, leadership, joy, and creativity. And it's almost like the energy of wanting to be seen and wanting to create and shine. And Jupiter is our planet. It helps us expand and grow, and it amplifies whatever it touches. So, over the next year, we're being invited to expand our relationship with visibility, creativity, our confidence, and that authentic expression. So, as I was looking at all of this energy, I was really curious about what stops us from fully expressing who we are. What stops you from receiving opportunities, love, abundance, and more joy that are all available to us? And I kept coming back to one thing, and it was our own sense of worthiness. So, today's theme for this session is going to be about getting curious with our own sense of self worth, because our own sense of self worth determines the quality of the life that we're willing to receive. The more worthy we feel, the more life we're able to welcome in. Now, if we feel less worthy, we're more likely to unconsciously reject opportunities. When someone wants to give us more love and support, we push them away. We don't feel that we're deserving of abundance and success. And it's not because those things aren't available to us, but maybe is there a part of you that doesn't believe you deserve them? Because we all desire things, but do we all feel worthy of those desires? And this is a thing that often makes us feel stuck. Because receiving requires more than desire. Receiving requires a belief that what's arriving actually belongs in your life. And many people think they struggle to manifest in the attraction. But often the deeper challenge isn't in the attracting, it's in the receiving. Because sometimes when good things arrive in our lives, the wound of unworthiness may tell you it's not going to last. Maybe someone else deserves this more than me. Maybe we start comparing ourselves and we don't feel good enough. So we show up unauthentically and we unknowingly we push the things away because we're not being truly authentic. We're not being who we are. And people sense that. It's like when we step into, let's say in a job, we get that higher position, we get the step up, more money, company car, we get the bigger organization with all the benefits. But with that comes more pressure, more responsibility. And what we start to feel is they're going to realize I'm not good enough. I haven't earned this yet. All these thoughts start popping up in our minds. And again, this is that unworthiness wound, it's that imposter syndrome. And I remember going through this myself. It was a few years ago, and I made a huge step up. My salary doubled overnight, and it was all this, everything that I'd been desiring. But for the first 6 months, it felt so uncomfortable. But over time, the more we realize our power, we realize our capabilities, we learn, we ask the questions to get us to where we need to be, to expand, to be able to hold the thing that we've called in, we start to realize our worth. And this is how we can build on our low self worth wounds. Because often we're waiting for the confidence to come before we take the step. But the confidence is built by taking the step. And this is what we've got to remember. Now, next, I'm going to talk a little bit more about desire because there's a strong link here. Desire, I always see it as being so misunderstood. Many spiritual teachings tell us that desire is something that we should detach from. But I don't see desire as a problem if we're not overly attached. When we can see it in our mind's eye, I see desire as information. We don't want it to be so dependent on our happiness that it has to happen, otherwise we're going to be so unhappy and broken. We see it and we detach from it, but we acknowledge that it's there because it's acting as almost like our antenna or our satellite. It's if it keeps calling you, if that's what I like to see a desire as, if something keeps calling, it often is because it is our calling. It wants to reveal where our soul wants to expand, and desire reveals possibility and our potential. So if you're feeling called towards maybe starting your own business, a creative project, maybe you want to experience love on a deeper level, you want greater health, more freedom, and that calling isn't random, because if you can see it in your mind's eye, it's because it's calling you towards it. And it may show you the next version of yourself that wants to emerge. But the question is, can you actually receive the thing that you want to call in? We all want to receive more support. Can we actually receive it fully? More abundance, joy, maybe it's recognition for all your effort and work, or be open to more opportunities. Can you truly receive them without feeling guilty, without feeling like you need to prove yourself, to not shrink and push those things away? So this is really about expanding our worth so we can hold those very things in our lives. Because when we expand our self-worth, we're expanding our capacity to hold more, and we start actually desiring a bigger life because we believe it's possible for us. And life can only give us what we're prepared to hold and prepared to step into. It can take a lot of courage at times. Because we hear all these stories. I remember hearing a story about this lottery winner. It obviously attracted great wealth into their life, so the manifestation wasn't the issue. But the wealth destroyed this person because they got into drugs and alcohol, and eventually they blew their entire money. They didn't invest the money, they didn't buy property. It was just completely drained. And often it can feel quite hard to believe. We can see how when we're not ready to receive something, we will likely destroy it. So this is what this month is all about. It's about recognizing where do we feel unworthy, and where are we pushing away a life that we desire because we don't feel worthy enough to attract it in. So where is low self-worth showing up in your life, and why? And you'll notice this through multiple different ways. And one of the main things about today is comparison. And we're not comparing our lives to reality often. We're comparing our lives to someone's highlight reels or these filtered versions of humanity. And it's our behind the scenes that we're comparing to someone's edited trailer, and we wonder why we feel inadequate. And the truth is, most people aren't failing. We're just simply comparing ourselves towards standards that may be not possible all the time. And this will show up in our level of confidence and how free do we feel to express ourselves. It may also show up in not feeling good enough in certain people's presence. Maybe you see certain people as more superior and it makes you want to shrink. Maybe you feel you haven't got anything valuable to say. Wherever this is showing up for you, I want you to get really curious about this. And I always like to try this visualization when we're talking about worthiness. I want you to just close your eyes for a minute. If it's safe to do so and you're not driving, close your eyes. And I want you to think about a person that you love unconditionally more than anyone in the world. And I want you to imagine that they tell you about all their insecurities, where they feel unworthy, they feel shame, they feel like they're not good enough, they're a bad person. But all you can see is just pure love and admiration for this person. And we can all think of someone like this, someone that you see as just pure light, and you can see all their little insecurities, and you just kind of want to shake them and make them see that these things are all just conditioning. It's all just an illusion, because what you see is perfection. So this is the sort of love that we want to be pouring into ourselves. Where are we speaking and thinking negatively about ourselves? I want you to really challenge yourself this month to just stop. And when it does come up, catch yourself. Even just the awareness in itself is such a big step. And I'll challenge you next, once you start doing this, I want you to think of something really positive about yourself. See past the illusion, see about all the greatness that you bring into this world to the people around you just by existing. You don't have to prove, you don't have to be something that you're not, just by being you, and know that that is enough. Now, next in the in-person session, we would now go into the guided journal. So we make this very unique to everyone's experience. So take a look in the caption and take a notepad and reflect on the journal prompts and see what comes up for you when we talk about low self-worth. And next, I'm going to move into the meditation. We can start releasing some of this inadequacy and unworthiness. So I want you now to just get in a comfortable position. Lie down on your back in a comfortable position with your hands on your chest or just down at your side. You can sit up straight in a cross-leg position, palms facing the ceiling, whatever feels right for you. And all I ask you now is to remain as still as possible. Now I want you to take in a deep breath in through the nose, hold, and exhale. Now gently close your eyes and just allow your shoulders to soften, relax your body. Now take a moment to bring to mind something that you deeply desire. Perhaps it's a relationship, a business, more abundance, a new opportunity, a dream that you've been carrying, and just notice what naturally comes forward for you. Now, as you hold that desire in your awareness, gently ask yourself, what part of me believes I cannot have this? What part of you believes that you're not worthy of receiving it? And maybe some memories or feelings appear. Maybe it's a familiar voice of doubt or just a story that you've been carrying for years. See if you can meet that part of yourself with compassion. Don't judge this version, just understand that this wound was never there to try and hurt you, it was there trying to protect you. And just take a moment to acknowledge it. I see you, I understand why you're here. No longer need to let you decide what is possible for me. Now bring your attention back to this desire and feel it in your body. Notice where it lives within you. And imagine just for a moment a version of you who already holds it. And I want you to notice how they stand, how are they breathing, how are they carrying themselves. Notice the energy that they embody, the certainty, the openness. There's a willingness to receive. And get curious and ask yourself, what do they know that I may have forgotten? What are they no longer believing about themselves? And again, just take a deep breath in and exhale. And as you keep breathing, I want you to invite in the feeling of worthiness. With every exhale, release the belief that you are not enough. You do not need to earn worth. You do not need to prove your value. You are worthy of receiving simply because you are here. And as you move through this month, I want you to set an intention to become more aware of the moment when this wound appears. The moment when it tells you to shrink or doubt or hold back. And when it does, I want you to pause and just take a breath and return back to this energy. Thank you for joining me for this episode. If you'd like to experience this work in person, I'll be hosting another live session at the end of July. These podcast episodes are intentionally kept short and focused, and my intention really is to give you one clear message to take away while offering you a simple Sunday ritual to reconnect with yourself. So thanks again for listening. I'd love to hear what resonated for you, so please feel free to share your thoughts and reflections.